EA Sports coverage. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. Now a play fake here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
Luke Kuechly has been so good that when scouts go out now looking for the next talent, they say they're looking for the next Luke Kuechly. Why? Speed, intelligence, toughness. They figure if they can find that in one package, they have found their next middle linebacker.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And the play clock's running down. Now a handoff here to his running back. There he goes inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue. Explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, you got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Dances by him. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
That's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward. Bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now here come the Raiders. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Janikowski now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. Here's Newton. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, But every now and then, you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Newton now to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
If you're a GM in the NFL and someone wants to question your credentials and you say, well, I drafted Khalil Mack, you're good to go, because Khalil Mack was a 2016 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He anchors everything they do in Oakland. Speed off the edge, strength at the point of attack, can drop into pass coverage, can play defensive end and outside linebacker, and guess what? Hardly anyone is blocking him.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on his 4th possession. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, a free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Time for our players spotlight, and it focuses in here on Cam Newton. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marquell Lee able to get him for a loss of about 3. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively. Looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Carolina getting set to take the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Newton now to throw. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right around the midfield stripe. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go! Blue landed! Blue landed!
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. To throw now on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like the one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. Carolina getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Here's Newton now on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Panthers on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because any completions on 1st and 2nd down, now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down. That's Ballard. And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Marquette King now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Trying to play field position maybe? Turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense? Who knows?
You're a nice man. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Second and 10, Newton again. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Newton, and he comes back with one complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Panthers trail at home at halftime. The Raiders have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 1st and 10. Ballard's able to show off his wheels, and he'd go in for the 44-yard touchdown. Midway through the first quarter, Florence is going to haul in the pass, and after the long pass, he'll score. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10, Hood's able to zero in on the QB here. This will go as a loss of 10. First and 10, Elliott's able to zero in on the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 7. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you up to North Carolina for the second half with Brandon and Charles. Gents.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Now Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Panthers on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 9. Newton. And some space here. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first down, it's Newton. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Newton to throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
They'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
That's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, here's Newton. His throw incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And from the 9-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Raiders have recovered. A fumble lost last week. Now a fumble lost this week. Is this just growing pains of a rookie?
It is growing pains, but they can't afford them. Not him nor his team. That means extra work during the week with his coaching staff and extra work on his head to make sure he doesn't lose his confidence. They like him. They want him to flourish.
Because you know he wants to avoid that label of being a fumble machine.
It is a label that is hard to shed, and that just means teams come after you even more, ripping and raking at the football when you're carrying it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Panthers have recovered. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. Like they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
Let's go! 3-19!
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Hurry up, here we go!
He'll look to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3-19!
Play clock winding down. Now a play fake here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
No, check! Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a room to maneuver. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They're going to look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Back to throw here. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 17.
Let's go!
Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, for the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now it's Newton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. The Panthers on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 11. A shotgun snap for Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Newton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panthers sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something
else. And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Newton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard at the 29. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
2nd and goal is still a decent chunk of yardage. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That time a 6-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Throwing again. Newton. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
They go play action here on 1st down. And this one's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Time running out here on the play clock. Going to give this time to the tailback. Down to the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 3rd down, it's Ballard, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Newton. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. to try it here. He's back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Oakland, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.